The Go-Go's, live in the Star Lounge.
We've got some emails from some Star listeners here, and one of them is from Stacy. I don't know where she is emailing from, but in the 626 area code, and we're going to give her 20 free downloads from the Star Music Store for the question. And hers is like Lisa's question. How do you stay looking so good and so young after all these years? You have to step up to the microphone, Jane.
Virgin's blood.
There we go. The venomous lyrics come in again.
Well, we were pickled for quite a few years there.
You were at the Arlington when I got to see you there.
You do the pickling first and then a good dose of good, clean living.
Cool.
Yeah.
And she also goes on to say, when you are playing at the Greek on Friday, how do you go about putting together the set list? Do you fight internally and go, okay, we've got to do this one?
No, we've tried a bunch of different set lists throughout this tour and just what's working best, and we've got, I think, a really good one for the Greek.
Well, just these 5 songs that you've got written down here are getting me going, so it's awesome to hear them. Now, Kathy writes in and from the 714 area code, and she says, hey, Go-Go's, so I assume it's for you girls here. I saw the VH1 Behind the Music, and there was a lot of conflict and drama in the early years. Living through that, how did you stay friends?
We didn't stay friends. We have a long, convoluted history of being really together and really close. And we're like a family. You know, we have our ups and downs. And despite whatever is going on, when we play together, it's magical. And you're in the moment and you kind of forget everything else that's ever gone on before. And you just kind of enjoy that minute of playing together and making the music.
Now, how do you get back together? Because, Belinda, you spend a lot of time in France, right?
Yeah. I live in France, yeah.
They have phones there, I take it.
They do have phones, and they do have the internet, so I do manage.
Whose idea was it for the 25th anniversary tour?
It just made sense.
So we're playing the whole album. We've never played the entire Beauty and the Beat album, which was sort of a challenge, actually.
Because,
to get together.
I mean, it was 25 years ago, actually, this month, wasn't it? Was it July, June or July it came out?
It was, yeah.
Now, when it was released, how was it for you? Did you have any idea how it would explode?
Our goal was to sell, if we could only sell 100,000 records, we'd be so happy. Remember, you guys? That was our goal, and we didn't know. I mean, I remember the first time I heard Our Lips Are Sealed on the radio. I was driving down the hill where I lived, and I just pulled over to the side of the road and just started screaming. It was the most exciting thing, and we had no idea it was going to take off like it did. So.
And it went through the roof, and you really became the inspiration for so many girls to follow into your footsteps, because before, as we were talking earlier, it wasn't really thought of that 5 girls could physically get out there and rock. I mean, you could look pretty and sing a song or whatever, or be the token girl in the band, but you were a working rock band.
Well, that was one of the reasons why we didn't had a hard time getting a deals, because we were women or girls, little girls at the time, and there had been no track record of a real successful all-female band. So that was a drawback back then as being an all-female band.
Have you ever done a Go-Go's book? Have you ever thought about doing it? You know, this is what it was really like, because I'm sure that a lot of people here would like to know what it was like. I mean, I would interview you over the years, and I would occasionally see you guys backstage, but we would hear rumors and stuff, and you know what goes on with the guys, but what happens with 5 good-looking girls on the road on a rock tour?
Well, I'll tell you, lots of shopping.
Right, yeah.
It's like, where's the mall?
That's it now, anyway.
Yeah, that's not. Back then it was,
We shopped
cuckoo.
then, too. We just went to
shopped
thrift stores then.
We used to, we'd pull up, and it's like we'd see the store, and everybody would, like say, oh, look over there at that, and then, run to the store and try to be the first one in. But we've talked about doing all kinds of things, but nothing ever seems to really. We talked about books and movies and
I think we just, we behaved like boys, actually. And but
this is what we wanted to hear, yeah. So.
Yeah, a band is a band, whether it's girls or guys.
And,
I mean, you know.
we were young, had no responsibilities, no families.
Hell yeah.
On top of the world, had money, and had a really good time.
Yeah, we did.
Really good time.
Can you think of some of the most memorable concerts you played? Because you did play around the world. I mean, you were popular everywhere. It wasn't just Southern California. It wasn't just America. I mean, the Go-Go's were a worldwide phenomenon. Where, Gina? Tell us. Hang on, let me get Gina a vocal mic here.
Our most memorable shows, well, for me anyway, but was when we played the Hollywood Bowl. because the Beatles played on that stage. When we played Madison, shut up! I'm telling you. When we played Madison Square Garden and sold it out in the round, and that was pretty awesome. Also, when we opened for the Rolling Stones, that was pretty awesome.
Rockford, Illinois.
Yeah, and it was and on that particular tour, we had to postpone a gig, and then we went and did that show, and it was the smallest venue on that tour. There was only a 10,000 seater, so I mean that was intimate for them. And I remember, like, I got to sit on Charlie Watts' kit and like fool around with other stuff, and they were all hanging out backstage, and that was a very cool thing. And then another thing for me was a very big show for me was when we played Meriwether Post Pavilion in Columbia, Maryland, because that was the place that I went to see my first concert when I saw Led Zeppelin open for the Who, and to actually go back there and play on that stage, it blew my mind, and that was pretty cool too.
Wow, cool, great. I know you got time for just one more song, but I do want to ask you one question, and it kind of relates to something that Charlotte said about being happy to sell 100,000 copies. Was there a moment as the album was shooting up the charts and you passed 100,000, 20 times over at least, that you girls looked at each other, was in a tour bus or whatever, and went, I can't believe what's happening? Can you remember a moment like that?
I think that we were so busy and crazy and playing and traveling. I don't recall us.
There was one amazing moment when what really broke us was we went on tour opening for the Police, and they were #1. And one night we were in our dressing room, and Sting came backstage with a bottle of champagne. He goes, "Congratulations, girls, you've just passed us up." And we became #1, and we were their opening band. And that was
That was
amazing.
cool. Okay, that was good. Yeah.
Unbelievable.